Hey everybody, it's Aimless AA coming at you again with another crazy idea. It's proven to be a booger. Stay tuned, watch this. So I want to take you back in history and back a long time ago. I don't know exactly what year, but a long time ago, before the Industrial Revolution. So there came this little thing that played a key part in the Industrial Revolution, known as the steam engine. So this was the first really type of engine. I'm sure there were mechanical things that existed at the time, of course, with Leonardo da Vinci's crazy ass and brilliant mind. Inventing helicopters and stuff like that. But you know what? Let's get back out of that past and into the past that we're talking about. So steam engines. Steam engines came along. So why steam? Why did they use steam? Of all things, why did they use steam? Why didn't they use just compressed air? Well, they didn't have air compressors back then. And steam was a way to create pressurized air. So they created these boilers, and they put water in there, and they would set a fire close to it, and it would heat that water up and boil that water, and that water would turn into steam, and then the volume of it increased, therefore creating, and then there was only like a certain amount of time. You know what I'm getting at, though. So it filled up with steam, but because it turned into a gas form instead of a solid, it expanded, turned into a gas, created pressure. There we go. That's what I'm trying to get at. So they used that pressure to drive a piston back and forth. Single action and dual action steam engines. Now, so why would I want to use old technology when we have gas engines? The gas engines are noisy. And steam engines, yes, they're noisy too. They're not as noisy, but they are noisy too. But why? So I can take a small engine. Now, listen, them locomotives back in the day created anywhere from 700 to 1,000 horsepower off of steam. That's a hell of a feat back in the 1800s. I'm sorry, it just is. But so that was some pretty amazing stuff. And I got to thinking about that, and I was like, well, damn, steam engines. I wonder if there's any way to convert a lawnmower motor over to a steam engine. And there is. There is. It needs to be, mine's 4-stroke, and it needs to be converted to a 2-stroke. So we're going to go through that process. I have hit a roadblock in it right now, so I'll get with you on that in just a minute. So I have watched videos and studied this and checked that and all kinds of stuff, and a lot of people have some cool ideas. So yeah, I got a book that tells me how to build a quarter-horse steam engine, which is a very small steam engine, but it is a quarter-horse. Why don't I do that? Because I need a lathe in order to do that. I don't have a lathe, but the book tells me how to build the lathe that I can build the steam engine on. So, yeah, I mean, it tells me how to forge out the parts I need to in order to build the lathe. It's nuts, man. But anyhow, so, yeah, let's go a little bit faster. So let's just convert this thing over and see if I can't use some type of a flywheel system to drive the power hammer. That would be awesome. No gas, no electricity. So the only electricity might be in compressed air. So being that we have air compressors now, I'm wondering if I could just use compressed air, in which videos have shown that you can. What's the point in using steam? Well, using steam is off-grid. The only thing you need to do is burn some wood and dump some water. That's pretty much it. Will I go that route? I don't know. I can afford the electricity to run a compressor, but if I can make it more efficient to where it dumps some of the pressure back into itself, that would be awesome too. But that's some experimentation that we'll be going over. Now, where are we on this? Well, I have a 4.5 horse. Well, it says 4.5 foot-pounds of torque. So I don't know what horsepower it is, but it's a little Briggs & Stratton come off of a Murray. It's an overhead valve system. And so right now I'm trying to get the flywheel off of it. Let me just show you this. All right, let me just show you. All right, so currently I've got it off the base. And guys, if you're going to do this, don't get in a hurry. Drain the oil first. I got oil all over my welding gloves and all that. It's like, yeah, let's hurry up and get this done. Um, so, like I said, it's the overhead valve, which I believe the valves can be adjusted, which would be good. Most overhead valves can be adjusted. So, it's cast aluminum, which is not ideal for steam, but maybe we can use compressed air, but you can still use it as steam. So here's the flywheel. As you see, I've already broken one of the fans off. Now, it says to remove this, use a wheel puller, in which I don't have, so I'm going to have to get one tomorrow on the way home from work. But here's the problem. See that key there? Yeah, that's an awesome little key. That keeps this thing from spinning around. It locks it in place. Well, the problem is that this motor at some point in time decided he was going to shift it out of that little notch there. So, just jacking it up is not going to work. I have somehow got to get this twisted back around, and I don't know how to do that. Like I said, I've already broken part of it, and this thing needs to stay intact because it is balanced for the engine. Oh, that is where we are right now. What I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is probably drill that little pin out, because it must not be too sturdy if it allowed aluminum to rip through it. It looks like it's just an aluminum piece anyhow. So right now that's where we're at with this. I could essentially break this thing off and make another flywheel for it, but I don't want to do that because it's got a magneto on it, and we might be able to use that electric charge for something. I don't know what, but maybe for something. I don't know, but let's not put it out of our minds completely there. So as soon as I get this off of there, I'll be able to get this shroud off. Thank you, Murray, for designing it this way, or Briggs and Stratton, or I think it was probably Murray who did it. But the only way to get this piece off is to get this off, because there's more bolts behind it. So, yeah. So it has been fun getting it to this point, because I was looking for a 1/2 inch, and I found two 10mm in my 7/16, and I found 9/16, and I found a 12mm, 11mm. I found everything that I couldn't find before, but I couldn't find my damn 1/2 inch. So go figure. But no, it's been a task. So we're going to keep going with this. The reason cast aluminum is not good for steam engines is for the plain and simple fact that aluminum absorbs heat really well. It really just sucks it up. So what it will do is it'll absorb the heat out of the steam that's in there, and it'll cause that steam to condense. And if that steam condenses inside the cylinder, you get a little bit of a vacuum, not much, but you don't get as much punch to it. So it's not ideal, and I doubt it's, I'm sure that it's got a steel sleeve in it, but now we'll just have to see how it goes. But for right now, that's where we're at. So, if you guys have any ideas on how to get that key out of there, let me know. Otherwise, it is going to have to ride the way it is. So, that's where we're at, guys. Refractory should be showing up tomorrow, and I will be lining the forge and getting it ready for that build. So that whole steam engine might be put on the back burner too, along with that refractory that I've got. So, but I learned of a new refractory. What is it called? I named it today. It's named the Gunnel Refractory is what I've named it. So, interesting stuff. Using materials I never even thought in the world. Well, I actually tried to use, but I didn't use it right. Yeah. Yay me. Anyhow, you guys take care. Look out for each other. Help each other. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Oh, yeah, and one other thing. Epstein didn't kill himself.